I mentioned in that top of the hour tease, I said all these lawsuits going on about residency and this, that, the other, with a variety, a plethora of political races. It's just finally nice to talk to somebody who won one.
Yeah. There's only one that's won one here. Jason Brown lost his. We had the ruling there in Bossier yesterday. He lost his.
Yeah.
They claimed he lives in Shreveport and was running for a Bossier police jury seat. Why didn't he just run for a Caddo Commission seat?
Chris David is in studio. He is a candidate for Caddo Commission. Tell us, just start from the beginning. Tell us your story. Tell us what happened. Your attorney, Alan Seabaugh, is here. He's been here once or twice. You guys know how it works. What's going on? Tell us your story.
Well, good morning. First, I just want to reassure the people of District 4 that I do, in fact, live in District 4. I've been there for well over a year, and I meet all the qualifications to run for the office, and I'm just thankful that we have a just judicial system that upheld the facts on Monday. Pretty much what happened is they brought a suit against me saying that I did not live in my property in District 4.
It was your arch nemesis, your enemies, your opponents?
My opponents, John Paul Young, I believe, did it behind the scenes, and James Carson.
Okay, you say you've lived in the district for a year, so you moved there with the intent to run for this seat?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, so you moved from where to where?
I moved from District 8, which was Piermont Circle, to my house on Aniana, which is in District 4.
And the motivation for the move?
It was a separation.
Okay. And you tell us a little bit about yourself, because we don't know Chris David. This is my district. I want to be able to look that person in the eye and go, I believe in you. I trust you. You need to earn my vote. What do I need to know about you?
Absolutely. I grew up in District 4, raising my family in District 4. I graduated from all schools in District 4, St. Joseph's, Broadmoor, and Loyola, Louisiana Tech graduate. And I came back here to build a business, to raise a family, and been here for about 15 years, since graduation from Louisiana Tech.
Alan Seabaugh, the claim in this case was what? I mean, if he says he's been living there a year, what was the big legal stumbling block you had to get over?
Honestly, it was John Settle's blog. Both plaintiffs admitted that they filed the lawsuit based on John Settle's blog, because John Settle wrote something saying that he didn't live in the district. Apparently, I haven't read it, but apparently he said that. The one that was troubling was James Carsten actually signed an affidavit attesting that he had personal knowledge that Chris was living at an address which is actually Chris's parents' house, which he's never lived at. Mm-hmm. He signed an affidavit saying he had personal knowledge of this, which is an under oath sworn statement. And when I asked him on the stand where that came from, he said he read it on John Settle's blog. So to be perfectly honest, James Carson's committed perjury by signing the affidavit. That was an under oath statement, which was untrue. And he also perjured himself on the stand. So it was really a couple of desperate, weaker candidates trying to knock the stronger candidate out of the race with absolutely no basis in fact at all. The justice system did work in this case.
In the Greg Tarver, Barbara Norton suit, there were 12 plus hours of testimony. How's about in this case? Was it that long?
Judge ruled about 4 o'clock, maybe 4:30, something like
Okay.
that. So it was longer than we thought it was going to be, but there was a lot of breaks. But we finished testimony, I think, about 3:15 or 3:30, and then the judge took it under
So he
advisement.
mulled it over less than an hour.
Yeah, about something like that.
How many witnesses did you put on the stand?
I didn't put any. They put, 4, maybe 5.
Okay.
And they put Chris, his ex-wife, his mother, James Carstensen, and David Highland. So the two plaintiffs, Chris, and then Chris's mother and ex-wife.
How's about the possibility of appeal in this case?
There's no basis. They can if they want to, but there's no factual basis for it. It was this case of facts, which were all on Chris's side, versus complete and idle speculation and hope and dreams on the other side, and they were just trying to take a shot to knock out a stronger candidate.
Why don't they like you, Chris? What's your issue? What's your bugaboo?
I don't know these guys. I believe they just understand that and believe that I'm the front runner and I've got a good chance in the race, and they just were trying to eliminate me from it.
Okay, why are you the front runner? I've never heard about you before. What makes you the front runner all of a sudden?
Well, I'm not necessarily saying that. I just believe I have a lot of support from a lot of different people in the South Highlands, Broadmoor area. And, we're just doing everything to try to win the race and get back to the basics of the election.
Okay, let's talk about the Caddo Commission a minute, because that is an
interesting group.
There you go. Some have walked out of meetings because they didn't like a measure that one of their constituents brought. It seems to be a troubled group. What can Chris David do to help fix that, to help mend some of those tensions?
Well, we've got to bring the people together. I think there's too much of a diversity up there on the commission, and I've done that every day for 15 years in a real estate career. We bring people together, we work together, and that's what we've got to do up there. You know, we can't have a commission with people walking out. We've got to get the people together up front, get a plan, and execute on that plan. We've got, you know, to build economic development around this area. We've got to build jobs. We've got to invest in things that are going to give back to this parish.
Should we be giving money to nonprofits?
It depends on the nonprofit, and I know that's a touchy subject. I believe that we should fund and help any organization that is giving back to the parish, but we shouldn't do it over 30 months if they're providing a profitable bottom line. You know, let's build them up. If they're giving back to the parish, let's help them. But once we have done that, you know, let's let them go and be on their own.
Okay. Will you participate in the Caddo Parish Retirement Program?
Absolutely not.
You will not be involved in CPRS at all?
100% not.
Okay. What is the answer to the GM plant? Caddo Parish made a horrible mistake. I think we would all admit now that we made a horrible mistake
But let's be honest, most of them are gone.
in cutting this deal. What can we do now? What can we do to make use of that massive facility that is, for the most part, vacant?
Aaron, I'm not going to sit here and act like I have the answers to that. But what I can say is that it was a huge mistake of breaking that facility up. It was a huge mistake of selling the things that were in there, and that is something that we're going to have to get together as a commission and work through and move forward with.
One more question, because
Yes.
I hit people with this all the time, and I want to see what you're going to tell me. Shreveport is struggling financially. Bad shape. Crime's a problem. Several communities have merged city and parish governments. Is that something you would be in favor of at least studying and looking into?
Well, the charters don't allow, as you well know, the parish to give money to the city, but it would, I'm open to any conversations and anything that we can do to move the area forward and create any type of economic development or industry. I'm 100% for.